Hey and welcome, I'm your boy Solo. In this video, I'm just going to be going over a few building, swapping, and changing of parts in my PC. What happened was I bought an Alienware PC and it's starting to get too hot, so I'm going to be swapping some of the parts out from it into my main gaming PC to kind of give me a little bit of boost. So I'm just going to video record this process. I thought I might as well while I'm doing it, and I'm just going to be swapping parts for 3 or 4 computers. So there's going to be quite a bit of stuff. I'm going to go over a few things here and there, but mainly what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a new PC from scratch, and I'm going to add my main PC parts to it and pick out all of the selected parts that I want to add to this here PC. And we're just going to see how we go. I have to take the processor and the video card out of the Alienware PC. I'll be going with a 3800X Ryzen CPU and a 3090 Dell edition, I guess. Just whatever they ship out in their PCs. This case is getting way too hot, so I'm swapping up those parts. And I thought I might as well upgrade my main PC. It's got better cooling, it's got better stuff. It can handle the hardware in this PC a lot better. So I'm going to swap it all to my P400A RGB model, my main case, which is right beside me. And we're going to be putting all the stuff in it. And we're going to go with a motherboard upgrade. We're going to leave the MSI Gaming Plus behind. The X570 will not take my 4 sticks of RAM. So I'll be going with this Tough Gaming X570 Plus Wi-Fi. It's got everything I need. It only just needs to be gaming. It's got good VRMs on it. I double checked this board's in the suggested category of the top 2 in the $200 to $300 range motherboard. So that's the one we're going with, and it's got Wi-Fi built in, so gains. And we'll be putting everything in here, and we'll just get started from here. I'm going to do some montages. I'll try and get some close-ups, and thanks for sticking with me through the process. Let's get started. Okay, so we got that out of the bag. We'll put all this here stuff back later on. I'm just going to throw it over to the side for now. We got the I/O shield. We got our M.2 screws. We don't need those. I just took them out just in case. We got some SATA connectors, a straight one and a bent one. And the Wi-Fi thing that comes with it as well. So this is the stuff that came with the motherboard. That's everything that's included. The I/O shield. Got some yellow accents on it there. I really like it. Matches the yellow gold here. Looks really good. Alright, I'm just going to slide this aside and start pulling apart this computer for its processor. For this project, we got the handy dandy Ifixit Kit. Comes with magnetic tray, holds everything in there, beautiful aluminum screwdriver, beautiful kit to use. I definitely suggest picking one of these up if you're going to be doing any of this maintenance yourself. And or a regular star screwdriver usually does the job for most things in a PC. If it doesn't, there's only a few other sizes that you'll have to worry about using. Okay, the first PC is just our Alienware PC. This is the R10 Ryzen edition, I think. The R10 or the R15. It's got the 3090 and the 5800X. It was the top model, so we got this one here for its parts. We needed a video card, and this is where we got it. So, this PC is actually complete ass to take apart. Sorry about that. This here piece has a bunch of clips and has to be pushed out. This power supply's got to slide out awkwardly like this, and we've got to get in here. So this is going to be a little bit hard for me to be able to do and look in at the same time. So we're going to see how that goes. I'm going to turn it all the way around here and So this is what they're putting in a cooler for a 5800X. This is what they put in. This is what Dell is shipping with their computer. This is the reason why I have to switch these parts. This is a cooler that's not even adequate for the 3600X. It's gonna use this here. It's gonna overheat. This here PC gets 100 degrees with this here in it. So I don't know why Dell's putting in something like that, but they definitely should have went with a liquid cooler possibly, without the option to put this junk in there. Let's keep going, guys. Okay, we'll want to get something to clean that up. I suggest coffee filters. They work good. This one tastes really good. Thermal application is, it looks like it was pushing everywhere correctly. Pressure mounting was good. Alright, now we want to pop the little arm up. Sometimes pick click. We're going to take this here CPU out. Be very careful with it at this here point, and we're going to instantly put it in the other motherboard. So we're going to move this out of the way. Get our motherboard tray over here. Open it up, and we're just going to slot this CPU right in here right away. Little wiggle. Perfect. Then we're just perfect. There we go, guys. Now the CPU is swapped out of here. We'll have one to go in there later that should be a little bit better. We will put this cooler back in later with it. Okay. We're just going to move a couple things out of the way here now that we don't need this here PC. We actually need another one. Before we put this one here back together, we have to take apart another. I have an additional CPU for this one here. A Ryzen 7 2700. Should be quite a bit better than having a 58 that should have never been in there. Alright, we're going to continue in this here build by taking apart our other build. So I have another full PC here to take apart. So we're going to take the motherboard out of this one here. So we're going to take the panels off here first, and we're just going to plop the motherboard straight out of it. Wire management, just saying. Brownie points. Be careful with the front panel, it is glass on the P400A. We're going to take the GPU out. We'll be able to leave a lot of these things here where they already are, which will be pretty awesome. Take the AverMedia card out, set that aside. Pop that little clip. Be careful, don't use a screwdriver. I do not yet suggest using something like this. Take the video card out, MSI 1660, awful dirty. I'll have to clean that. Plastic back plate on it, I think I might I might take that off. We're gonna recable management this PC too. Remove the RAM. And the last thing we need to do is just get those there screws out. You might have to take the cooler off first, depending on how hard it is for you to reach in. And this here system has a 3700X in it. It's 2 generations behind this, but the upgrade probably won't even be noticeable. We'll see when we get those games going and those scores going. This one here gets really hot for no damn reason, and I think I'm blaming the motherboard. This MSI motherboard is absolutely trash. MSI X570 Gaming Plus. Gross board. Do not buy it. I advise against it. I'm switching all of this out because of that motherboard. Alright, after that last screw's out, this should just pick right up. Nope, I forgot a screw down here. Magnetic force is not strong with this one. Longer screwdriver help. Alright. I don't think so. Had to apply some extra force there. Then you have to reach in here and get these here power. Sometimes it's a one-finger job, guys. All right. Whew. Let's get this out of the way. That's right. I'm using that. I don't suggest it. I'd suggest using the box. I just run out of stuff. Okay, this is pretty standard. Just like most of the other nocturnal coolers, just take it apart. Good contact. For sure. My thermal paste job looks like it was pretty good. Okay. This board actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it did. But it's not doing very good and it won't overclock on the RAM. So we're just going to leave this in it and put it in the next computer, guys. This is just going to somewhere else. So we're just going to leave it as is and set it on the box. After we take all the hardware off of it. Yeah, just replace it with the old hardware that was on your board when you got it. Alright, now we'll set this one aside. And back to this one here. The stopper's on here. Says right on the brackets, AM3, AM4. Pretty easy to line up. I've never felt like I've put stuff on backwards so much before. Tighten those up nice and tight. Now we're not going to use the old thermal paste. We're going to clean that off and put some new stuff on there. We're going to go with some MX4 thermal paste, thermal compound. And we want to just put a blob on there. That should be enough for this cooler. Then just line it up and set it on. I would tighten a little bit on each one, evenly back and forth. I'm going to stick my RAM in now just to make sure it fits. Okay, good. And you just tighten these ones here till the screws bottom out. When it's tight, she's tight. Good time now to give it a little spray down clean. Make sure the fan's facing the right way. I think that's the CPU fan. Okay, what we're gonna do is prep the case. We're gonna take all the power cords out and get them ready so that it'll be a lot easier to put them back in. Make sure you pop out the old I/O shield for the old one. And take the rear fan out. Make it a lot easier on yourself. So you guys don't see any of my disgusting skin particles and dust or whatever. Can't believe this motherboard's got 8 SATA ports. That's absolutely beautiful. Sorry, it's pretty dirty. I will be cleaning it up just a tiny bit. But we got our power cables here, so we can plug them in before we put the motherboard in. I find this so much easier. Once that's plugged in, you can just jam it right back in. Make sure you put your I/O shield in first. Speaker holes at the bottom. That's what it shows on the motherboard. Punch it in with your fist if you feel like. Okay, usually what I do is I check any of the ports to make sure none of the things are going to get jammed in it. This one looks great compared to the MSI one. Doesn't look like any are going to jam in and short out my stuff. Alright, let's set this bad boy in. And it should sit right in place. Alright, and start putting the mother screws back in. Motherboard screws. I'm going to use my Ifixit for this because the magnet on it, so much better. Once we get these here tight screws in, it'll be easy sailing from there. Alright, well that was interesting. The power supply just nicely slid out there for me. Alright, we're gonna jam in the video card and the AverMedia card, and we should be done after that. You have to take this whole video card apart to be able to take the back plate off. Wow, thanks MSI. Why don't you give it a little dust off, just jam it right back in where it went. Guess we'll put the rest of the motherboard screws in first. I'm missing a screw.
Keep the dust out of it.
Alright, now we'll want to jam the video card in. See if it goes in. Alright, perfect. Start putting it back together. My poor cords. There it is. Alright, last thing to put in, the AverMedia card. Give it a little dust off too. Actually, no, I'm just putting the back on this one here. I'm putting the AverMedia card in my streaming PC. Find your motherboard bracket and jam it back in. Maybe plug your fans in first. Now put your video card back in. Oof, sorry about that. There we go. Stick these 4 screws in the fan. All that's left now is to fix up the cable management. I'm going to start by swapping out all of this here junk. I might move some of these power supplies around. Plug in the power 8-pin. Make sure your video card's got lots of power. And your 24-pin. Make sure that's plugged in. Those are the only things you really have to have plugged in. After that's done, we want to take a look back here because it's an awful mess. Front panel, 16-pin connector, all sorted here really good. Power supply, bad condition. We need to plug these 2 cords into it. I/O connectors, front. Hard drives. I'm going to have to leave these here because, well, I can't do anything with them, so unfortunate, but that's the way it's going to be. Yeah, I either got to get bigger hard drives or, you know, move them to another storage, so that's unfortunate. I think I'm going to rerun some of those cables. We'll see how it goes once we get this power supply out. really do have 5 connectors in here. Oh, first wound. Scared to take damage. You ever want something with my blood and tears in it, let me know. I know I'm dusting it over my case, but alright, I gotta put the power supply screws in. Alright, this one's put together like my wire management. Perfect. Alright, well we're done with this one. We're here. We're gonna go test boot it and we'll be back in a minute.